Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Today is an exciting day, even though it's gloomy and kind of cold and overcast outside. It's an exciting day because my friend Billy J, my old friend from Party Procedure who moved to Tasmania, is coming up for the weekend to see me and to see a few other people and family, etc. So cannot wait to see him. That's happening tonight. I'm picking him up from the airport late. I'll turn that into a video for another time, for next one. But today I'm going to be running through my top 3 free plugins. It's hard to say. Top 3 free plugins that every producer, I believe, should have. They're crucial to any part of the mixing process for me, and being able to monitor and hear all things correctly and make sure they're in the right place before you sending your track off to be finished. So let's dive in. I'm really excited to show you. These are great plugins. I'll have them all linked down below. But welcome to the video, and let's do it. Alright, so let's jump in. Firstly, I've got my track Forget the Money sitting there on an audio layer, and I've brought in the 3 plugins in question down here for you to show you what each one does. Now, all of these plugins can be used on either any individual track, but mostly they're used on the master, and I'll show you why, and or used to master things or check, reference things, that kind of stuff. So these are really great plugins that I just absolutely know that you need, and they are all free. So come on, I mean, free plugins, free software that's easy to use, and it literally makes your music that much better. So let's dive in straight away. The first one is the BX Control V2. Well, I've got this particular version. It's from Brainworks, the BX Control. What I specifically wanted to show you was this part of it here, which is the referencing section. There's a free version that you can get of just this particular panel here, the actual control part, and can change the mono, stereo, and the panning and things like this. And you can also, which is the best part about this, is solo both mono, stereo, and then also left and right. So you can really listen to where things are sitting in the mix. One thing I like to use this for in particular is making sure it's going to sound good on a club system. As we know, most club systems are in mono, so what I would usually do is boost this little thing up here all the way up to the top, 22 kilohertz, which means it's making everything below that number mono. That then means that we're able to click mono over here, or it should already be in mono anyway, to receive the mono signal, and you basically can hear what main components of the track are missing, if anything, or what things need to come out a little bit more, necessarily not in the mix, but in the mono signal more than the stereo, or vice versa. So we can check these things. This is just a listening tool, very useful, like I said, but it doesn't give you any visuals as to what's going on with the signal. That's where we bring in our next friend, so we'll move him over here. The next one is Stereo Tool. This one's by FLUX. I've been through this previously before in another tutorial. I'll link that one for you. It's a really, really good one. I've gone through essentially this plugin, but I'll go through it again in the basics. This one allows you to then get a signal visualized for you on the screen. You can also increase the width and decrease the width to provide both a mono signal again and give yourself a 100% mono signal to test again. So similar thing, you could just do it in this plugin. It also gives you the full range of where the sounds are sitting visually. So if we play a little bit of the track that I've got here, you can see visually what it does, and I'm going to jump over to the Brainworks one and control a bit of the levels, and we'll see mono and stereo and just show you guys what the difference is. So let's jump in. So we got to go in and change these first, bring that down to maybe back where it was, about 250, something like that, and then take that back off mono, and we'll have a listen.
you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Let's go through with it. What do you want? You do that. To get the money. What would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Let's go through with it. What do you want?
So, as you can see, huge differences that can be made just by playing around with the stereo and mono fields. That's why it's so important to get these things right, because you may have a track that's not quite sitting right in the mono or stereo, and you can blow it right out the water, having an amazing track and just screw it up on the final part. So let's jump into the third and final plugin. This one is from YOULEAN, or I don't know, YOULEAN Loudness Meter. So a loudness meter, as many of you will know, records the loudness units, or the overall, some would say volume, gain, these kinds of things, the overall kind of loudness level of a track. And generally, you know, you can kind of hear that when you listen to a track. It's real slammed or it's loud as compared to something else. So for instance, you might have a really heavy dubstep track, which everything is slammed to the max limiter, or you might have a real nice acoustic ballad where someone's just strumming along the guitar and singing nice and sweetly. The difference in loudness should be, technically for a listener, exactly the same. This is why Spotify, these kinds of things, they like to normalize everything and make it all one value, so that the listening experience is better and you don't have like a death metal song come on and go, "Bah!" and then you go and listen to some sweet ballad, you know, and it's not, you can't hear the difference. So loudness is a crucial part to making sure that everything is as it should be. Now, this meter is free. There's a pro version, of course. This is a beta version, I think, for the free stuff, the one I got. And it tells you the core ingredients to what you need to know. If you jump on your friend Google's website, they'll be able to tell you all that you need to know about loudness units, although I will be diving into that kind of stuff in the future. I just want to be fully in control of what I'm doing first before I can demonstrate it. But I use these units on here to kind of measure my tracks and see where they sit. So if we have a look, I've pulled this track down 6 decibels, so you can see already that it's going to be six loudness units down from where it should be technically, because we're referencing 1 decibel usually is 1 loudness unit. So if we go to the drop...
What would you like to do if money...
Actually, no. I lied. The loudness units are exactly as they should be. Because if I'd had that plugin on the master and the track channel was turned down 6 decibels, then it would have made a difference. But because this is sitting actually on the track before it's gone down 6 decibels, I get the true reading of the loudness. As you can see, it was pumping 6. Forget the Money is slammed. I really slammed that track. It sounds good, like pumped and like, you know, big club song kind of stuff. It's got to stick out there with the rest of them. A lot of the more melodic stuff and that kind of thing I'll bring down a little bit. I don't really care whether things are mastered the same. I just want them to sound good. If you're, you know, trying to push loudness units too far either way to sound like other things and it's distorting your sound, you're losing the quality of your sound. So that's a big no-no for me. I just do it to make it sound good. Anyway, this meter, let's have another look.
What would you like to do if money were no object?
So it tells you a few different things, and as you can see, the different values jumping around as we play around with it. There's the short-term one, which is the loudness that it's collecting pretty much as you listen to it. Various different loudness unit measuring systems have different latency, but that's pretty much this one's. It's really short, gives you a good indication. A lot of the ones you can change these kinds of factors and change how often it picks up the signal, but most of the standard ones, it's just a measuring device, so you don't really need to play around with too much. The integrated value is a more kind of average value. The loudness range gives you your quietest point to your loudest point. If you play it over the full track, you'll get a good value as to how dynamic your track is, and that's still very important. Although Forget the Money isn't very dynamic, I'll admit. It gives you a momentary max, which is how like crazy it gets at the singular most point, but pretty much any limiting is going to stop this, and a lot of club limiting will stop all these kinds of things. So this is just on a, you know, a gauging system. Then you've got a short-term max, which is like a bit more of an average, and a true peak. And true peak's slightly different as well. So go through and have a look at what all of these terms mean into Google. Otherwise, I'll dive into them a little bit further once I can really convince you what they are. Most of the time, you probably don't really need to know. All you need to know is that these values are not the be-all and end-all of your music. It's got to sound good at the end of the day. Don't try and stick to something that someone's told you should have, like Spotify say -12, I think, loudness units or those thereabouts. That's actually quite quiet for a lot of things. If you played that in a club, people would have to turn the gain up possibly. So it's kind of, it doesn't matter where you do your music making. I just wanted to explain kind of what these things mean in terms of creating a mastered track that sounds legit and sounds like it should be there in the industry. So go and grab all these plugins. They are free. As I said, I'll link them down below. Go and grab them, get them, study them, use them. They're amazing. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I'm seeing my mate Billy tonight, so we're going to might do a bit of a DJ tutorial, something like that. Even just hanging out, we'll see what happens. But see you guys soon. It's going to be exciting. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, notify yourself for more videos because I'm going to be bringing you some more stuff. I really enjoy making these videos, so they're going to keep coming. Anyway, thanks guys. We'll see you soon, and take care. Farewell. No limit.